Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Pearson. I'm author of the book The Key of Kilenya, and the source for today's video came from these two Wattpad users, and they were both asking questions about getting published and submitting to publishers, and I want to tie those together. The first question is, when submitting for publishing, is it better to submit to many at once or just one at a time? And okay, so first off, I recommend submitting to an agent. Submitting to publishers is fine as long as they accept unsolicited manuscripts. But the thing about this is they have what's called a slush pile, and that's where all of the manuscripts go that don't have agents. And it takes, I had a friend who had her manuscript in a slush pile for a publisher for 2 years before they actually read her work, but they did end up picking her up. So if you want to wait those 2 years, whatever, it's fine, you can do that. If you're looking for an agent, agents will protect your rights. As I've said in a previous video, agents, they'll make sure that you're taken care of and that your book is ready to be submitted to publishers, plus they know which publishers to submit your work. And submit to as many as possible. The reason for that is because it takes sometimes 6 to 8 weeks for an agent to respond, and for publishers up to 2 years. So do your history, make sure you know who you're submitting to, and then submit to as many as possible. Keep track of who you're submitting to as well. I had a spreadsheet that showed me the agent and the agent's house, what they represented, what they were looking for, what I sent to them, and when they responded. And the reason for that is because you submit to somebody and a year later they respond saying that they're interested and send me more, you want to be able to look back and say, oh, I know who this agent is and I know what I sent to them already, and then you can send them the next whatever they want. The next question is, did it take a long time to find a publisher? For me, I was represented by a publisher at one point. They breached contract and so I left. That was a long time ago. And I networked a whole lot. I had my name out there. I just made sure that people knew who I was, and something just fell off my roof. That was interesting. Anyway, so I did a lot of my hard work in networking, and finding the publisher wasn't as difficult because people introduced me to people who introduced me to people, and it just kind of went around that way. But it did take a while. After I finished my book, it took me about a year and a half, 2 years to find a publisher, and that's fast for some writers. I didn't receive a whole lot of rejections because I was busy working on my writing skills and working on my networking rather than trying to find a publisher and an agent. And I would recommend doing a mixture of both. Getting yourself perfected and working on your skills, and also searching for an agent and a publisher. And for everybody it's a different route. It takes a different amount of time. Okay, the next question is, I heard getting a book published is near impossible these days, and a lot of writers are discouraged because they don't think it'll be possible for them to get published. And my answer to that is, yes, it is very difficult to get published. Yes, not many people get published. If you take the fraction of people who finish writing a book once they start it, and then of those who actually start submitting, and of those who actually get accepted, and of those who actually get published, it's a very, very small number. But the thing is, if you do not give up, and if you keep working as hard as you can, if you continue progressing and improving your writing and your stories, and finding those stories that will sell, and also pushing forward, and like I said, never giving up, then you will eventually get published. And I really do believe that. Self-publishing is not the best way to go, especially if you're brand new at writing, just because there's a lot of stuff out there that's just not ready to be published yet, that's not clean. Make sure your work is the best you can get it to be before you start trying to get it published, before you start self-publishing. Anyway, that's all for today. So if you have any questions, go ahead and send me your responses. I won't be able to post any more videos for this book, but around book 2 at the end of August 2011, I'll be posting more videos. Okay, thank you.